Hi. Get ready for part 2. I'm sorry I'm not a professional speaker or a professional actor, but I've done what I needed to do so far, so I'll just continue, and if you don't mind, I'll read from my script. All right, now I've already brought up the 3 books I wanted to bring up. That's Surviving a School Shooting, Rampage, The Social Roots of School Shootings, Why Kids Kill Inside the Minds of School Shooters. I think you've gotten the point. All of these books were published from 2004 to 2009, but on December 16, 2012, President Obama went on national TV to supposedly memorialize the Sandy Hook tragedy. Instead of just helping us with our grief, he chose that time of all times to relaunch the Democrats' fanatical pursuit of gun control. The Democrats have been at this since the late 60s. Believe me, I know, I was there. And they've used every mass shooting as opportunities to stir the emotional support for their gun control solutions. In his speech, Obama gave Senator Feinstein and Vice President Biden the task of reintroducing their long-dead gun control ideas. And they were soon joined by Democrat Senate Leader Harry Reid. Feinstein's role was just to reintroduce her defunct assault weapons ban, a rehash, basically, of the one that had expired, thanks to the Republicans who put a sunset expiration clause on it. I was shocked because Obama had fooled me by acting as if gun control was not even on his thoughts until then. Then I felt betrayed because he'd lied to us and to me. Next was that I paid attention to what was reported in the news about from the Sandy Hook crime scene. I wanted to know how Lanza got into that school. The report said that he had shot out a window in their security door at the school. How could that be, I wondered. I wondered because I was once facility supervisor in charge of physical security at a very large research facility, much bigger than Sandy Hook School, and would rival some colleges. And the doors there could never have been opened by just shooting out a window. If that had happened, a circuit would have been broken and an alarm signal would instantly be sent to those inside and to the police, who would reliably arrive within very few minutes. So I checked with a friend who's an architectural engineer who has worked on school buildings, and he agreed proper security doors cannot be shot out nearly so easily. It would take a professional level assault. Adam Lanza was no Navy SEAL. A real security door would have slowed him or stopped him, at least for the time needed for police to engage him outside the building. The next point, you remember that those 3 books all bring up the need to detect and deal with those who show signs of mental imbalance and violent potential. Obama mentioned better mental health programs in passing in his speech. But after that, all I've heard is that Congress has approved funding for that purpose. I don't believe they did any more than throw money at the problem. And the book I mentioned deal with the problem more directly and pragmatically. This book deals directly with how to handle potential threats like these school shooters in some detail. This seems more practical to me, but we must insist on such training for teachers, principals, kids, and parents. And don't kid yourself, there will be some teachers, some parents, and some principals, and even some mayors I can think of, who will object to having a pragmatic program for defending life in our schools implemented. Stopping mass shootings before they can happen has been successful in at least 150 cases over the past few years. The Nova Science series and Frontline documentary series both mentioned that in their specials devoted to school shootings last February. But that didn't stop the Democrats. We have to ask, why do the Democrats think that their safe schools, gun-free zones work? At Sandy Hook Elementary, we saw that a number of teachers and their students had no way to defend against Adam Lanza once he got through the Democrats' gun-free zone and that flimsy security door. They had to just huddle together while he shot them all to death. By now, shouldn't we be asking ourselves why President Obama, Senator Feinstein, Vice President Biden haven't even mentioned these books? Instead, they've been pounding away at gun owners, all 100 million of us. Instead, they've tried to push through gun modification and universal background checks, and they insist they'll keep trying, and they insist they'll succeed. Not just the NRA and Gun Owners of America, but a lot of gun owners have been pointing out the illogic and the errors in thinking of these three leading Democrats. We can do three things to stop the rampaging anti-gun owner Democrats and some weak-kneed Republicans as well. 1, buy these books and read them. Become seriously informed and become active in getting these root cause solutions installed in our schools and in our homes. Be insistent, be persistent, and be sure that the ideas in these books are turned into workable programs in every school, including universities. Don't let anyone stop you. Join together and get this done for the sake of our kids and for the sake of our teachers. 2, I'm tempted to ask people to buy extra copies of these books, and please do so if you want to pass them on to educational leaders and school boards and school and city councils. And you might want extra copies to throw onto any stage where any Democrat makes a public appearance while you shout, "Get a clue." 3, unless you want the Democrats to keep using every school shooting tragedy as a reason to manipulate public opinion against us, you should consider making this your primary issue in the 2014 and 2016 elections. There are 100 million gun owners. Together, we can eliminate the phony politics, which makes us look like crazies and threatens our right to defend ourselves, our families, and our communities. Vote, for gosh sakes. Vote for your dignity and your rights. Lastly, I'd like to thank fellow YouTube presenters like Hickok45, Mr. Colin Noir, Mr. Nut and Fancy, Mr. James Yeager, and several others. All of them have been doing their part to preserve our rights and defend the principle of legitimate self-defense. We are all in the same team, the responsible American gun owners team, and we will succeed if we act as a team. Let's not forget that. Thank you for taking the time to listen. God bless you.